Hello, and welcome to another installation of Did You Know, a digital ministry of Fredsville Lutheran Church located in rural Cedar Falls, Iowa. My name is Andy Graves. I am the pastoral intern here at Fredsville and host of Did You Know. For the past several weeks, we have been digging into biblical misconceptions, things that people think they know about the Bible, or think they read in the Bible, or ideas they have about characters in the Bible, and kind of debunking those thoughts or ideas. We are going to continue that this week with a look into the Bible itself, specifically the structure of the Bible. A lot of us have it in our mind that the Bible that we read from on the regular, granted you read it on the regular, I'm assuming you do, the one that gets preached out of and presented at all the places is the Bible, the one Bible that exists that everybody uses. For instance, I know it's going to be backwards, but the HarperCollins Study Bible, New Revised Standard Version, that is what we use. The NRSV is what we use in the Lutheran Church most often. There's other translations. We've talked about that before. But did you know that in popular practice, if you will, there are actually three different structures found in Bibles? For instance, the one that we use in our church would be considered the Christian Bible, but more specifically the Protestant Bible. There's the Protestant Bible, which is what we use. There's also the Catholic Bible, and there's also the Hebrew Bible, and all three of them are different. I don't have an example of the Hebrew Bible or the Catholic Bible to show you. It would look a lot of the same, but what's different is the structure. The Catholic Bible actually has 7 additional books in the Old Testament section. We, in the Protestant circles, would call them the Apocrypha. I'm not sure exactly what makes them different. I know they're older books, but they're in the Catholic Bible. And the list of books goes, there's Tobit, Judith, 1st and 2nd Maccabees, the Wisdom of Solomon, the Wisdom of Sirach, also known as Ecclesiasticus, and Baruch. Those are included in the Catholic canon, or the Catholic books of the Bible. In my Bible that I have here, they're found in the middle. You have the Old Testament, you have the Apocrypha and Deuterocanonical books, and they're removed and put in the middle because some of our Christian brothers and sisters use them as canon. They're read in services for worship and things. So that's the big difference between the Catholic and the Protestant Bibles, is the additional books known as the Apocrypha. What's interesting, though, is looking at the Old Testament, if you will, in the Christian circles, we have a specific order. We have the Torah, which is the first 5 books, the Pentateuch, and then the beginning. So you have the Genesis, the Exodus, Leviticus, Deuteronomy, etc. And then we have the writings, which would be the not prophets, if you will. I'm not sure exactly what they are. I should have did a little more research before starting to yammer, but nonetheless. So we have Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, and then we get into the writings, which we have Joshua, Judges, Ruth, the Samuels, the Kings, the Chronicles, and then we get into the prophets, which is the Ezra, the Nehemiah, Esther, Job's. We have some more writings, Psalms, Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, and then you get into Jonah, Micah, Nahum, Habakkuk, Zephaniah, Haggai, Zechariah, Malachi, etc. That's the order of our Old Testament. And how that differs from the Hebrew Bible is the last 2 sections are actually flipped. The Hebrew Bible goes Torah, prophets, writings, as opposed to Torah, writings, prophets. When the Christians were putting together the canon into the Old Testament and calling it the Old Testament. They put the prophets at the end because they better feed into the New Testament narrative of Jesus. Our Old Testament ends with Malachi predicting the return of Elisha and the gift of Elisha, and then you have the birth narratives and genealogies of Jesus connecting old and new. Hebrew Bible doesn't have that. They end with the writings and the words of Cyrus, which is not prophetic in terms of Messiah. So there's no direct line drawn from the end of the Hebrew Bible to Jesus because it's not their story. So that's a quick rundown of structural differences in Bibles that are in use today. We have the Protestant Bible, which we use as Lutherans. We have the Catholic Bible, which includes some of the Apocrypha writings. And then we have the Hebrew Bible, which has a slightly different order and placement of books parallel to what we consider the Old Testament. So that being said, now you know. Feel free to look into it, ask questions. I'm always looking for feedback. Reach out to us if there's anything we can do. We're on Facebook. You can email us. We have a church website, fredsvillelutheran.org. Reach out, let us know what your thoughts are on this and other things. Until next time, be safe, love your neighbors, social distance, wear masks, protest, social justice, Black Lives Matter. You know the drill. Do the work you are called to do. Be blessed, and until next time, I'll see you on the other side.